My name is Kyle Sheridan, my wife is Annie, and God has given us 4 beautiful children, Micah, Patrick, Abigail, and Hudson. We're missionaries sent by the Central Baptist Church of Pomona, California, where the pastor is my father-in-law, Tom Smith. In 2012, we stepped out by faith and came to Patagonia to plant the first independent Baptist church in Chilean, Patagonia. I'm really excited to tell you more about what we've been able to see God do right here. And I also want to tell you about our vision for the future. But first, let's get to know the region of the world that we live in and work in.
Patagonia is a vast wilderness. It is the name of the tail end of South America, straddling southern Chile and Argentina. Besides Antarctica, nowhere else on Earth is further south. It is dominated by the Andes Mountains, which form a backbone of over 1,000 miles long. Patagonia has a population density lower than that of the Sahara Desert. Because of its breathtaking scenery, Patagonia's sightseeing draws many tourists from around the world. Nevertheless, what has captured our hearts is the people. Patagonians are warm and hospitable. Sadly, they are steeped in superstition, false religion, and secularism. We have seen the fruit of a Patagonia without hope, and it is evidenced by the very high percentage of drunkenness, suicide, and domestic violence. The city we work in is named Coyhaique. Coyhaique's quickly growing population of roughly 60,000 people may seem small to those accustomed to large metropolitans, but in a region whose population is so sparse, it is a mighty and strategic city to reach out to all of the surrounding towns, villages, and islands. 6 years ago, we arrived to Patagonia on an ocean freighter from further north in Chile. Days later, the Bible Baptist Church of Coyhaique was born in our living room. Since I was already fluent in Spanish, Annie began her journey to fluency as I visited tens of thousands of homes door to door. Each day, we actively preach the gospel and disciple through one-on-one relationships and Bible studies. We are grateful to God to have been able to train Chilean disciples to get involved and do the work of the ministry. The Lord has blessed several big days that we have organized, like our military outreaches, where, for example, one time over 200 military heard the gospel in one of our church services. Each one of these activities bears fruit for the glory of the Lord Jesus Christ. Our anniversary services grow each year, with over 80 in attendance this year. The Lord is working through our weekly radio program, and He has prospered my volunteer chaplaincy at a local school. As missionaries, we do not receive a salary from the Coyhaique Church, but they have been extremely generous. For the last 5 years, they have paid their own bills, faithfully supported missions, and with their tithes and offerings, they purchased their own building at the end of last year. We would like you to get to know some of these dear Christians.
Soy Dusan Phillips Mateluna y Jesús cambió mi vida.
Soy Daniela Espinosa y Jesús cambió mi vida.
Mi nombre es Alexis Gallardo y Jesús cambió mi vida.
Hola, mi nombre es Nicole Figueroa y Jesús cambió mi vida.
Yo soy Hulda Mardones. Jesús cambió mi vida.
Soy Juan Carlos Ignacio Ramírez Guerrero y Cristo cambió mi vida.
Hola, mi nombre es Carla Duque y Jesús ha cambiado mi vida.
Mi nombre es Luis Bascuñán Sánchez y Jesús cambió mi vida.
Hola, mi nombre es Rodolfo Lizana y Jesús cambió mi vida.
Mi nombre es Simón Guerrero y Jesús cambió mi vida.
Jesus has changed lives in Patagonia, and this church is now ready to send laborers into the harvest and begin planting the next church. We have planted the Coyhaique Church in a strategic location so, like the Thessalonian church, it can be multiplied throughout our region. There are over 30 cities, towns, and villages in our state that do not have a church that is preaching salvation by grace through faith in Jesus Christ. We have proven the biblical model of planting a church through actively preaching the gospel, baptizing new converts, discipling them to spiritual maturity, and training nationals. This reproducible model has set the foundation for a church planting movement in Chilean Patagonia.
As this presentation comes to a close, I'd like to address two groups. The first group is those churches who have faithfully held the ropes as we have served in South America. I want to thank you. Thanks to pastors and individuals like you, we have been able to plant the Bible Baptist Church of Coyhaique. Thanks to you, Jesus has changed lives in Chile. And thanks to your continued support, we'll be able to return to Patagonia and continue planting churches in this area that so desperately needs the gospel of Christ. The second group is those churches who have invited us to join you for one of your services and present our field and also our love for the people of Chile. Thank you for supporting missionaries all around the globe. I'd like to ask you to prayerfully consider allowing the Sheridans to be part of your missions family. We're in awe as we consider what God has already done in this place, but I have no doubt that the greatest days are ahead. We'd like to ask you to pray for our family as we continue this great ministry that God has given us in Patagonia, southern Chile.